Hey everyone, in the VC, it's Matt, and I thought I would check in with another album review. That being Pipes of Peace by Paul McCartney, his 1983 album. It's one of the archive series albums that was just released along with Tug of War here 2 or 3 weeks back. Did a review of Tug of War last week, so I thought I would do a review of this one. There's back cover, of course the front cover already. Not a very good cover in my opinion. Back cover's okay. Picture of Paul there. Kind of a goofy front cover. If you open it up, you can see that it makes one big picture there. Of course, the original album didn't have the archive series label on the spine there. Inside, we got pictures of all the players on the album and the song listing. Paul and Linda, Ringo, Michael Jackson, Stanley Clarke, the great jazz bass player there, Eric Stewart from 10cc. Double album. You get the regular album, then you get a second disc of demos and outtakes. This is one of the sleeves, got the Van Gogh painting there. Then you just have some song information. This is a sticker that was on the front of the album on the shrink that I took off and just stuck on there. I like to keep those stickers. And here's the regular album sleeve for that. And there's a chair by not Van Gogh, by some other guy in '66. What's his name? Not like you really care. Clive Barker. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I did the review of Tug of War, an album that I really like, album that I might probably like more now than I did when it came out, and I liked it a lot when it came out, but I think my appreciation has grown over the years, and I like it more than I did then. This album, Pipes of Peace, I never got at the time. Of course, I knew Say, Say, Say because it was all over the radio. And I knew the Pipes of Peace song because that was on MTV. And I had the 45 for So Bad, one of the songs on here. But for whatever reason, I just never bought this album. And so this is the first time I've ever had it, first time I've ever heard it. That's why I didn't do a review immediately. I've had it for 2-3 weeks now, and I wanted to listen to it, give it a few listens before I did any kind of review, let it kind of sink in and get a feel for it before I made any proclamations on it. And so, yeah, this album came out October 31st, Halloween of 1983. I remember, like I said, the song Say, Say, Say was all over the radio. I was actually 20 then. It just turned 20 the month before. So 83 was a really good year. That song song brings back memories of 1983, certainly. The album got to number 4 in England, but only number 15 in America. This is, well, we'll go through songs before we overall impression of the album. But first song up is Pipes of Peace, the title song. It's a sort of a silly, daffy song. It's kind of that sentiment of if you only look into the eyes of the children and we all hold hands, the world will come together and be as one. It's, sort of the stuff that kind of Michael Jackson lyrics after Thriller, when he made those awful albums after Thriller. But Paul McCartney's is guilty of that too, and it's lyrically kind of cliche and goofy. Musically, it's okay. It's not a bad song. I think he wanted to do something like kind of a grand ballad type song, like he did with Tug of War and Take It Away. The first two songs on Tug of War, he might have been going for that sort of mood and feel. I don't think he hits it with Pipes of Peace. There's a part in the middle where kind of the military march music's kind of neat. It's not a bad song. It's nothing to write home about. Scale of 1 to 10, I guess I give it a 7. So yeah, next one up is the number 1 hit, Say Say Say. Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson was all, like I said, all over MTV, all over the radio back in '83. I don't love it, but I like it, and I've got fond memories of it. It's probably more nostalgic than any actual love for the song, just because it does remind me of 1983, and that was a really good time in my life. So it makes me nostalgic. But even at the time, I remember thinking it's catchy. I liked it all right back in 1983. It's catchy. I like it all right in 2015. Uh, it's far from either one of them's best song. Uh, it's good. Scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 7.5. So yeah. Um, the Other Me is the next song up. Let me get this on the list of the songs. I'm reading my notes too. The Other Me, silly lyrics again. What's it? I acted like a dustbin lid, stuff like that. This is sort of soccer mom music. It's again, it's okay. It's not a terrible song, but eh. Scale of 1 to 10 on that song. The Other Me, I forgot the name of it already because it's just not much there. Scale of 1 to 10, I give that one a 4. So Keep Undercover. Things looking up a little bit with this song. It's catchy. I love the sort of staccato violin riffs or runs in it. The da 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 da. And it's got some nice tempo changes. One part where it goes from the sort of da 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 with the violin part into the guitar part. It's really nice. Pretty good song, catchy song. Um, I don't remember what it's. I don't remember what it's about now lyrically, but it's no great shakes lyrically, but musically, good song. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that one. I give it an 8. Um, So Bad. That's the one that I had the 45 of, which I really bought just because I collected all the Beatle and Solo Beatle picture sleeves back then. Used to have a ton of those. Sold them all. Wish I hadn't, but anyway. So I got that for the picture sleeve. That's the one that he sings in the falsetto voice. It was a minor hit. Didn't get to number one like Say Say Say, but I remember hearing it on the radio here and there back in the day. Laid back, easy tempo song without being too cornball or sugary sweet on the lyrics or embarrassing lyrically. It's a nice kind of laid back, mellow song from Paul with the falsetto singing, and I like it well enough. Scale of 1 to 10, I give that an 8. And we get to side two. Side two opens with The Man, which is the second song on here that was written by Paul and Michael Jackson. Of course, they wrote Say 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 together. The rest of these are written by Paul, solely by Paul, I think. Maybe there's one I think they're all written by Paul. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll look it up later. Anyway, The Man, Paul and Michael Jackson, not as good as Say Say Say. Not a very good song. It sounds like, my thought was, sounds like an outtake song that was left off of Thriller, but it's really not even that good. It sounds more like an outtake song that was left off of Bad, which was bad. Of course, that album wasn't out yet at this point, but it just sounds like something Michael Jackson wrote that didn't make the cut and he tossed off, and then it got picked up with this deal, and him and Paul ran with it. Not a very good song. It's 1 to 10 scale, 3 or 4. Second song on side two is Sweetest Little Show. This one's Things Are Looking Up Again. Catchy song, good song. Got a great guitar break that's kind of I don't know, Spanish or old style European guitar sounding music with kind of sounds like tabla drums in the background, kind of Indian influence music with some old European type flamenco, I don't know, old type guitar. Sounds cool. It's a good song. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give Sweetest Little Show a 9. One of the better songs on the album. Third song up is Average Person, which is might be my favorite song. Yeah, it might be my favorite song on the album. It's sounds to me like an old Wings song more than an 80s Paul McCartney song. Sounds like something that could have fit right in on Venus and Mars or London Town albums. Got kind of silly, stupid lyrics again. The guy that fixes cars, and what does he really want to do? He wants to work with lions in the zoo. So lyrically, it's just kind of silly, but um, good music and good rhythm and everything. Good song. So yeah, 1 to 10. Would I say a 9 on that one? Or if I didn't, that's what it would be. It'd be a 9. Next up is Hey Hey, which is lyrically probably the greatest song Paul McCartney ever wrote, including the Beatles. You gotta love the depth that this must have taken him. Like when John Lennon worked on Strawberry Fields for I think several months between '66 and '67. Must have been the same with Paul here when he was writing the lyrics to Hey Hey. It's just so deep and so profound and meaningful. You got Hey Hey, Hey Hey, Hey Hey, Hey Hey, Hey Hey, Hey Hey, Hey Hey. That's all. So just incredible poetic lyrics. Yeah, great. Just Shakespearean. Anyway, so maybe not so much, but it's really it's him and Stanley Clark, Paul and Stanley Clark. It's just sort of a throwaway song. It's kind of a just a musical little groove number that is you think it's throwaway, but then it kept going through my head at work the last few days. So I guess it's catchy, and Paul can always write a good melody if nothing else. Um, but it's still kind of a toss away song. Uh, Lyrically, nonsense. Musically, nice little groove. 1 to 10 scale. I give it a 7. So what's up next? Tug of Peace, which is sort of a sequel to Tug of War, or an answer to Tug of War, or an alternative to Tug of War, I suppose. Uh, it's an upbeat song. It's got kind of borrows from the Tug of War song. Upbeat, fun. Doesn't completely work. Doesn't really amount to much in the end. It's okay. Tug of War is the better song of the two. This one, Tug of Peace, scale of 1 to 10, 6.5, I guess. Last song on the album proper is Through Our Love, uh, which is starts off pretty just dull. About midway through, it picks up a little, and from about midpoint to the end, musically, it's pretty nice song. Um, so yeah, it's not great. First half's dull. Second half is nice and somewhat interesting. Scale of 1 to 10. What I'll give the first half 3, and the second half 7, and average that out to I guess a 5. I give it a little higher than that. I give it a 6. So that's the regular album, which on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this album overall give it a 6. So it's I like to refer to it, and I have listened to this album. I don't know, probably close to 10 times now, completely through. So I like to refer to this as Tug of War Light, Lite. I think it's just not a very good album, to be honest. I think it's one that I will kind of grow fond of as the years go by, but at the same time realize that even though I kind of like it and enjoy listening to it, that it's really not very good. Um, it's not terrible. He's done worse, but he's certainly done a lot better. This is a far cry from Ram or New or Tug of War even, and it's certainly a far cry from I Want to Hold Your Hand in Penny Lane. Um, so what did I say? A 5, I think is what it should get really, but I'll give it a 6. I'll be generous. So then you get the bonus disc with the outtakes and the unreleased tracks. Just go through those real quick. Side 3, you have demos for Average Person, Keep Undercover, and Sweetest Little Show. Average Person and Keep Undercover, those demos are just there. They're interesting to hear a time or two. Not much to them. Sweetest Little Person is I like that one. It's just a intimate, relaxed take. It's sort of like you just walk in a room and there's Paul McCartney working out a song, running through it. Just a really rough, basic version of it. So it's got a nice feel to it that way. Uh, so that was one of the better songs on the regular album, and the outtake of it is also nice. Not as nice as the released version. So then side three ends with two demos. One of them was called "It's Not On." Second one is "Simple as That." I don't know if these were ever released as B-sides or singles or whatever, but "It's Not On" is a really weird, kind of nutty song. It sounds like something out of the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack to me, and it's goofy and weird, and I like it a lot. It's better than anything on the regular album. It should have been on the regular album, and may have even been a hit back then, 1983, being with all the new wave and MTV and things like Putting on the Ritz by Taco and Eurythmics and stuff having hits, and Trio with the So it's kind of a weird song that could have been a hit. I don't know why it wasn't released. Maybe it has been on a B-side. But it's a good song, so It's Not On. I like it a lot. Some people might find it kind of strange and odd. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that one. I'm going to give it a 9. Almost want to give it a 10 there. But anyway, yeah, that may be my favorite one of this whole set. Simple as That is got this kind of maddening to and fro beat rhythm of the music. This is doom 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 doom, and I like it. It's just kind of a strange sort of cartoon music soundtrack or Halloween sounding. Doesn't have spooky Halloween lyrics or anything, but it just sounds sort of that Halloweenish cartoon music that used to be in the background when you were watching Bugs Bunny and that stuff back in the way back days. So yeah, that's side three. Side four opens with Say Say Say's 2015 remix, which is 6 minutes 58 seconds compared to the actual song from 1983, which was 3:55, almost 4 minutes. So it's just stretched out a couple of minutes. It's okay. It's the song stretched out, just like back in the 80s. They used to release those 12-inch singles of hit songs that were where the regular hit song was 2.5, 3 minutes. The 12-inch single was 7, 8 minutes. Just stretch out the song. If you like Say Say Say, it's 2 minutes more of it, pretty much. Ode to a Koala Bear, or wait, well, yeah, no, that's right. The next one is Ode to a Koala Bear. It's crap. It's stupid. Anyway, left said about that. Twice in a Lifetime is the next very terrible song too. Very boring song. It's the music. It sounds like the music they used to play in those beer commercials in the 80s or those car commercials. It's even got that crappy 80s saxophone sound. Well, it is a saxophone, so yeah, it's crap. Scale of 1 to 10 on Koala Bear and Twice in a Lifetime, I'd give them both a 1. Christian Bop wraps things up. Shortest song on the album. It's instrumental, and I like it. It's cool. It sounds like a leftover from the McCartney 2 sessions more than from this album. Or it sounds just like a snippet of soundtrack music that he put together to play in the background of a film or something. So yeah, it's inconsequential overall, but kind of a neat little, just short little snippet of music there. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 7. So that's it. I think covered everything. It's did okay. This was, like I said, Tug of War. I stopped buying Paul McCartney albums after Tug of War. Didn't start buying them again until Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, with the exception of I bought a few 45s from the albums. Give my regards to Broad Street and 45s from this. So it was nice to finally hear this all the way through. It's not terrible. It's not great. Like I said, I think I'm going to give it a 6 overall. Tug of War is a lot better, and hope everyone has a good Sunday. And we will be back with some more album reviews sometime, someday. Oh, hey, I've got a contest coming up soon, which can be a Christmas contest. So I will talk about that probably early November. I'll announce what that's all about. Take care, everyone.